Hello everybody and welcome to episode 3 of the League on Wheels podcast. This episode is brought to you by Yorkshire Podcast Studios. But if you or your company would like to get on board and sponsor an episode, please do get in touch on any of our social media feeds or through YouTube or whichever way you can find us. Today we're joined by Warrington Wolves head coach Ian Stapleton. Ian, welcome along.
Cheers Andy, thanks mate, loving it.
Very good, very good. I'll say before we carry on, Tom Oates was gutted that you're in today. Diaries have clashed. I think you've been getting on quite well with Tom recently because he's been over on the England pathway with yourself doing some coaching.
He has, he's messaged me. He said he should be on his third bottle of Italian wine by now.
I think he's been
I think he's done more than that.
I think he's being optimistic. He's only a little lad. I don't know if he can drink that much, to be fair.
Well, it's Italian wine. He could be on cheap stuff.
Yeah, he's from Batley, and he will be.
There you go.
Absolutely. Before we start off this podcast and having a little longer chat with Ian, we're going to have a look at the most recent scores from the world of wheelchair rugby league this last weekend. A couple of friendlies, one of them very interesting this weekend, Ian. I'm sure you've been looking at Sheffield Eagles versus Castleford Tigers.
Yes.
Cass beating Eagles 40 points to 30.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the teams that's been put out there, but an interesting scoreline.
I've not seen them, but that one is definitely interesting. I wouldn't have thought Castleford would have pulled off a result like that, if I'm honest. Having played Sheffield and seen what they're about and being in the England setup with Greg as well, that one shocks me. That one does shock me. I wouldn't have thought Cass would have put 10 points on top of them. That's a big result for Cass, and it just shows a lot how much they've come on as well. How much they're coming on. They've got an absolute belting player in Louis. Absolute. Scares me watching him. Really does.
Well, we'll go on a little bit later with Louis when we have a little bit of chat about the pathway work as well. The second friendly, I was actually involved in this one, Ian.
Were you?
I made my playing debut for Batley Bulldogs A team.
So was it your fault?
It was all my fault, yeah. We went down against Team Colostomy, 18 points to 22. It was a charity match.
Yep.
I've done a little bit of work with Team Colostomy in the past when they've been visiting Batley Bulldogs. I was persuaded. It didn't take me much to persuade me into a chair, to be quite honest with you.
No, it never does it? Never does.
Absolutely not. And I loved every bit. I've got the blisters on my hands to prove it.
Good man.
No good for the verbal part of the.
It's not, no, but
there you go.
They look impressive.
Absolutely. On to Championship East. Batley Bulldogs first team were also in action.
Yes.
York at Batley, 26-16 to York. That puts York into third in the table.
Does.
It was a tough-looking game for us.
So I was just chatting with Carl, one of the York players, on the way over. I was having a chat with him about it, and he said he thinks a lot of it is they've come up and they wanted it more.
I think you're probably right. I think they came in, they looked very cool and calm, did York. When we started getting after 6 minutes, we were 10-0 up.
Okay.
And then York got a try on. A few penalties were given away. We gave away 8 points in penalties. And Carl can kick it from anywhere on that pitch.
That one makes it.
I've never seen him miss a conversion, Carl, a penalty.
And that makes the difference. Penalty count makes the difference.
Massive to give 8 points away in that kind of game. And
you knock those 8 points off, that's a 2-point game.
Absolutely.
That's winnable no matter where.
The points ticking over, and some of his team looked like they'd just lost their heads a little bit.
Yep.
York looked cool, calm and collected and just carried on ticking that scorecard over. But that puts them in third at the minute. So they're up there fighting for a spot. It
is looking good for York, I'll be honest. I reckon they're going to be some sort of underdog through that. I don't think many people have got looking behind them and thinking, they've had a bit of a knock-off here, but no, I'd say York are going to be a bit of an underdog for that league.
Well, let's see them go well. They're a really good set of folk over there as well.
They're brilliant. Brilliant, really top guys. Love a lot of them. Not had a bad word against York.
No, not at all. Over to Championship West. We'll start off with Salford Red Devils at home against Rochdale Hornets, and they went down 118 points to 6.
Yeah.
Salford at the foot of the table. Rochdale now at the top, but 2 games in hand. Hereford and Crusaders have 2 games in hand on them, equal points. What do you think is going to happen there? Do you think they're going to catch Rochdale back up at that point?
God, well, I'm sure we're going to fixtures anyway. I mean, we've got North Wales this weekend, so that's going to be a tight game anyway. Hereford, I think it depends on which Hereford team you get at the time. they're very good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to put them down. They are a really good side. They're well disciplined. You've got a cracking coach in Alan with them. I think it just depends on how they turn up and where they're at within that. Rochdale have come on leaps and bounds. We've had some decent recruitment in close season, and they just moved on. They've moved on a lot. I know for our first game, we underestimated them, which we all know the score for that one. And yeah, I think Rochdale are going to be the surprise outfit this season. I think definitely once we come up with Hereford and North Wales, I think it's going to be a really close game. I think the difference will be the kick game on that.
We had Richard Wright in that last podcast, and he was saying that he thinks the Championship West is the most complete league. So anybody can pretty much beat anybody. And I know Salford's having a really bad rub at it at the minute as a brand new side as well.
They're brand new, man.
Absolutely,
they're brand new.
Yeah.
And I think they're looking at developing. You only get better by playing games.
Oh, yeah, they're doing it
You only
the right
get
way.
better by playing teams that are better than you. So by sticking into the league, yeah, okay, you come bottom of it, or you may scrape a win somewhere. You never know. Stranger things have happened. But they can only get better as they go on. And I think within Manchester, the nearest one to them is Rochdale. You've got us, but the nearest one to them is Rochdale. So you've got a hub, you've got a whole area to aim at to bring players into. So Salford will improve. I'm under no illusions of that. But no, I do agree with Richard's point. Is that West, you could drop a team in, and at present any team could beat any other team.
Yeah.
Depends on the day, conditions, how your team turns up, what they're like, and then also looking at that is your fitness side of it as well.
That's what keeps it all exciting as well, isn't it? It's going to be an exciting side of the Championship, that side this season.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And then the other match of the weekend.
Yep.
Yep. Warrington Wolves 24, Widnes Vikings 28.
Yeah.
It sounds like a very close match. I've not seen anything or heard a review of it yet.
So, yeah, it was a close match. Going back to the underestimating teams, I think we've gone in. Our guys have underestimated what Widnes can do, what Widnes are about. We've got a couple of decent players. Their kick game was far better than ours. I'll be honest with that one. I think we just didn't really switch on from moment one. And bats were... It's like running game. It's like any version of rugby. You don't switch on from moment one. You know very well you're on back foot. And that's kind of what happened.
It's too hard to get back into it then at any point.
Well, we got back... I mean, don't get me wrong. We got back into it. We took out a 12-point lead, I think it was. It's just unfortunate that 12-point lead didn't really materialise into a win.
Yeah.
We held out. We did our bit. We held out. We just didn't play our game in some ways. Play the game which we've gone through in training. I think we could have been better. I'm taking nothing away from Widnes. They took the win. Well done.
Hello, I'm Tom Oates.
And I'm Andy Walker. With the help of Yorkshire Podcast Studios, we'll be presenting a fortnightly video podcast based on wheelchair rugby league. It'll feature news, reviews and interviews from this wonderful sport, but we've got some exciting news about how you can get involved too.
We're looking for sponsorship partners to give Wheelchair Rugby League the awareness it deserves. In return, we can offer brand awareness to both our and your target audience through the podcast and our social media feeds.
Get in touch now to pledge your support. We look forward to hearing back from you. We'll go into a bit about yourself.
Yeah.
So, you're a massive fan of Wheelchair Rugby League yourself. I think
Absolutely
that
love
comes
it.
across everywhere, and a lot of people know you. We generally keep it quiet who we're having on as guests up until a few days before, but we let it out to some people who can keep it in the loop, and everybody's been looking forward to listening to what you say as well.
Oh, God. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
No pressure, Ian, no pressure.
None at all.
So, just from the beginning, how did you get into Wheelchair Rugby League?
So, wow. For me, a lot of it started through World Cup. So I watched it through World Cup. I've loved watching the Paralympic sport. We'll call it wheelchair rugby. We all know it's murder ball, but we'll stick with wheelchair rugby. Watched that, found it amazing. Love Paralympics. It's always been kind of a preference over the Olympics more than anything, because it's just you're astounded by what people can do, even with limbs missing or other disabilities. You look and you go, "Go on, Bennett." I struggle even just getting out of bed. So it's how they do it, and I'm interested in the movement and all the technique and how you can change and adapt, and that's what got me into that bit. I was fortunate enough to go and start coaching with PD. Right. So I started physical disability with Warrington, and then moved on to wheelchair with Warrington. Before all that, I was running game through and through. Took on development teams, brought teams through, kids coaching through to adults, rep sides, things like that. But wheelchair is, I think, it's the best version of this game, without a doubt. Yeah. Without a doubt. I mean, a lot of it was proved when I went down to watch a recording of the last leg. Right. And this was just after World Cup. Turn up there and stood waiting, going, and you're thinking, I know him. Why do I know him? There's Lewis King and Seb and Jack Brown, Tom come through, and it's like great big suitcases, like nudging the missus, like, it's World Cup. Yeah. World Cup. You know, like giddy kid. Yeah. And it's like, oh, this is brilliant. And so that kind of started it. A lot of it started then. A lot of it started through World Cup, as I guarantee a lot of people who've come into wheelchair rugby has gone through World Cup. The exposure which has gone in, watching the final was, what a game. Yeah, what a game.
Yeah. That's where it's in for me as well, to be quite honest with you. I knew it would have scored. I've known it would have around for a long time. Halifax have been knocking about a good long time in the wheelchair rugby league. Didn't really give it that much thought. BBC showed it all. Yeah. That was the best thing that happened in that World Cup. BBC
100%.
Showing those games.
100% agree.
Obviously, I was watching a lot of rugby, and I made sure I watched every single England game after the first one. Yeah. Couldn't take my eyes off screen. Yep. But the amount of people watching from that World Cup, hopefully it gets such a similar broadcasting chance for this next World Cup coming up as well.
I do hope so. I think they can't shy away from it now. They really can't. They've put so much effort into World Cup, but they've got to put the same and more into this one to show the games. Yeah. Because this is, we all tout it as the most inclusive sport, but it's the fastest growing one as well.
The boom since the World Cup is absolutely crazy.
It's ridiculous.
It's absolutely crazy. I mean, just when we announced that we were launching about the Bulldogs, Martin Coy got in touch and says, "Oh, are you training tonight? I'm going to call up." Yeah. Called up. Yeah. He did a similar thing. He brought his big case with him. He brought his big trophy to show you. Everybody loved all that straight away. And when do you get that in a sport as well? Do you know?
You don't.
You don't, do you?
I mean, for me, when I was coaching kids, it was all about the experiences that I never got when I was playing. Yeah. I mean, I'm 47. You start off playing when you're 10. You don't get the experiences of walking out at likes of, Norton Park as it was, or anywhere like older stadiums. You don't get that. You never got to meet first team. You didn't go get them. And even then, when you did go into back after a game, you're into like the little clubs and what have you over at Wilderspool. And it's like players come in and they're like half cut before they've even walked in. Like smoking goodness knows what. You're thinking, flipping heck, he's not crikey. That's not the player I've just watched down the pitch. But they interacted and it was different. Whereas now, kids get the experiences. You can go take flags out onto pitch. I mean, don't get me wrong. Last season, my lad was playing at Woolston, and I got to live my dream. Walk out at Wembley. Yeah. Took flag onto the middle of the pitch at Wembley. You're getting told off. It's like, she's Graham getting told off for taking photos of the kid. Big kid, 46-year-old kid on Wembley. I'm loving this. But no, so it's all about the experiences for me, for the kids, as it was. And now it's getting these guys the experience and the exposure that they deserve.
No, absolutely. It is really well deserved as well, all the way through.
Completely. I mean, anybody who wants to go and play wheelchair rugby league, if you've never played it, if you've played rugby, find a club, get yourself down, just give yourself one training session. I guarantee you'll love it.
Even if you haven't played rugby?
Even if you haven't played it, just bob down. Yeah. Bob down, find where your local club is. There's a list on. You can go on BBC Sport website, there's a list on there. RFL website, you'll find a club on there, there's a club finder on there. Get yourself down, give it a go. It is, if anything, as a first timer, you'll learn something new. Yeah. And that's what it's about, learning something new, finding out that you can push that boundary, and you go in and go, I love that. And you never know, somewhere out there may be the next Jack Brown, there may be the next Seb.
There's got to be there somewhere.
There's got to be somewhere.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I've seen a few of them. But, yeah.
Going on to that then, so you've spent, what, 3 years in the wheelchair side then?
This is my second full season.
This is your second
full season,
now,
this
right?
one, yep.
And you're not just the Warrington Wolves head coach, you're the England Futures pathway coach.
Yeah. Never, ever in my wildest... If you'd have told 10-year-old me when I started playing, by the way, in 37 years you'll be coaching within the England setup, I'd have laughed at you. No chance in hell. Not a chance. So this is like wildest dreams and beyond.
Yeah.
100%.
How did that come about?
So I think a lot of it was... got asked. Purely got asked. Again, going back to the last leg, I met Tom there. We ended up in the green room, a couple of beers. Next thing you know, it's like, oh, keep in touch with you. He said, yeah, please do. And came out that we were doing futures, so I messaged him and said, love to be in this setup. This looks fantastic. Don't think I'm there as a coach yet, but I'd love to learn. How do you fancy? So, yeah, okay. Okay. So quickly got the calendar, blocked out the days he'd give me. It's like, got the look off of Mrs. like, what are you doing? So, nothing.
I get that look.
I think we all do. So it blocked out the dates, and she's like, something you need to tell me? She's like, yes, but you're going to shout at me. Like, I'm taking this day because I've got rugby with England. You get the look. You get the look, and it's like, right, okay, I'll deal with kids' football. Thank you. So they came about from that. I think a lot of it came about talking in green room with Tom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to hope it came from that.
And just get. I think that's one thing with Tom. He likes. I don't know him really well, as like you do, but he comes across as somebody who will work with a person rather than a skill set as well.
And that's exactly what it is, and that's exactly what England Futures is about.
Yeah.
So there's a set things we look for, and you're looking: are you coachable? Are you a teammate? Do you have someone's back? Rather than you can coach skill. You can coach skill all the time. You can coach chair skill, you can coach rugby skill, you can coach ball handling, stuff like that. What you can't coach is being a good teammate.
Yeah.
It's all the uncoachable stuff that you look for, or that we're looking for. And there's a lot of players who've got it. A lot of players. And it's how coachable they are after that. And I think that's where I think England Futures are at. They've got a cracking bunch. They've got some all the stuff they've done to get up to the performance squad.
Yeah.
The 18, is it he's named? 18.
Yes, 18.
18 is named. That's a belting 18. My word. What a set. And even the ones who haven't got there, still, what a set of lads. I'd take that team.
Yeah.
I'd quite happily take that. The lads who haven't quite made a performance yet, take them. If you could put a team together with all them, my word, you'd have a belting 18.
Yeah.
Absolute belting.
Yeah. I've had a little bit of insight from Tom from
Sure.
Oates, having a little bit of involvement on this time round. Him as a brand new player and coming back to me with a lot of feedback of how it all went.
Yeah.
I've had some insight, and I think it sounds a wonderful way to work it.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. How else are you going to get the next load of like England superstars coming through? What better way to do it? Better way to do it than get them all into a cracking arena over at York. Belting facilities, absolutely brilliant. In fact, last time I think it was a bit like a sweatbox, if I'm brutally honest, but it was hot outside, so it doesn't help. But no, belting venue, absolutely superb. And they're in there, and you're learning off the best. You're playing against the best in the world.
Yeah.
Because they still are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm almost certain next World Cup they still will be.
Yeah.
I can't see anyone beating them. Really can't.
It's the French are going to have a chat about it, aren't they? They're going to have their say about it, and if anybody, it's going to be them who's going to be dangerous, I think, towards England's setup.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I think the French pose the bigger threat. I don't see them taking the title off us. I really don't. Don't get me wrong, they've got some absolute belting players.
Yeah.
I just don't see them taking the title off us. I think that World Cup is ours to keep rather than theirs to win.
I hope so. I hope so.
So do I.
Okay, there's another year yet. Obviously, the Ashes coming up this autumn.
Yep.
And that's where the performance squad is kind of aiming towards this autumn time. Do you think there's a possibility of that being pretty much the same squad that will go to the World Cup, or do you still see changes? We've got another full season domestic.
We have got another full season. I'd personally, I think that's going to be the squad. If not, there may be a couple of small changes, but I can't see a reason for it not being.
Yeah.
I really can't, and I'm looking forward to the Ashes tour for them. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be absolutely fantastic. It'll be a good test, good warm up for a World Cup, definitely. And the lads can push on from there.
It's definitely a strong squad. Everybody can see it. There's so much strength in that squad. A lot of returning players. Jack Brown's back over in England.
Yep.
That's going to be a massive thing to have him over here training for a World Cup with you.
It'll be huge.
Yeah.
It's massive. I mean, the guy, the very first England futures game he came to, so they got him down. I think he got off the plane on the Friday, and this was on it was a Friday or a Saturday, one of the two, and he turned up on the Sunday, looking like completely dishevelled, tired lads. Went out there, and it's like, how do you do that?
Just turned it on.
How do you do that?
He's unbelievable to watch.
Oh my God. I can't quite work out if he's scary to watch on TV or to watch him actually going at you a couple of yards away.
Yeah.
Because my word. Just the change of pace, the change of direction in him. It's as if he's gliding.
Yeah.
Everything. It's just phenomenal.
It looks like he's on ice.
Completely. I mean, put me in a chair, I look like Bambi on ice. But Jack, no, it's fantastic to watch. And don't get me wrong, the rest of the England squad are exactly the same. There's a level. I think there's a level, and the difference between Championship and International, there is a big jump.
Yeah.
There's a big jump.
Yeah.
We had one of our guys who was down for the first performance thing, and even he came back, he went, oh my God, I'm not there.
You realise the step.
Yeah. It's ginormous, but it doesn't mean that nobody can get in it.
But saying that, the step between Championship and International Elite, Louis Domingos from Castleford. You say his name, and he's an exciting prospect.
Oh, my word.
I love to watch him play. And he's such a nice bloke.
What a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy. The thing that gets me is that he's got to push one-handed because he's got to hold the ball.
And it can go straight in with one hand.
And mate, I push one-handed. I'm going back the opposite way. Every single time it's happening. Yeah. No matter what, all I'm doing is I'm making zigzags across a court, across a pitch. Sorry, but no, he's what a talent.
I think that's his thing. It's his chair skill. I don't know if it's because of his basketball kind of background, and some basketball players do seem to have a bit of a glide to the chair, don't they?
Yeah.
But he even seems to push along, and he just doesn't run out of momentum.
No.
He'll move. He's got his feet in the funniest position. It must help him how he moves it.
Yeah.
So, and he'll push himself off a couple of pushes, and he doesn't seem to lose any speed. No. And he moves it with his hip this way, that way, and he's got a ball over here, and he's just off the cuff. He's fast. He's exciting.
More than exciting. I tell you, he's more than exciting to watch. He's. I think he came down, not the one just gone, the one before it to performance bit. He turned up, and I was stood there, and I stood with Dave Banks, assistant coach of England.
Yeah.
Dave, who's he? I went, Louis. I went, bloody hell. Good God. Wonder if he'll sign for Warrington. And that was my first thought. I'm thinking, come on, Bennett.
You want him?
What a talent. What an absolute talent. Unbelievable guy. Any team, and this is where it comes down to Castleford, the way they've developed, I'm under no illusions they're not playing just one game, give it Louis and see what he can do.
Oh, no. They've got strength
in depth.
Yeah.
They've got strength in depth, and the talent that they've got coming into there, and Louis heading that, without a doubt. and it's fantastic to see them. I love seeing any new talent come through. Nathan Wright,
That right?
up at Halifax.
Still only a young lad.
Still a young lad, 18, 19, something like that. 18, 19, something around there. He's got some years on him.
Yeah.
He's got some years on him. And again, he's another one to look at.
Yeah.
He's another one to look at. Bit of development, don't get me wrong. But again, 18, 19 years old.
Yeah, it's good to see him. Keep it family, Isabel.
Exactly. Oh, loved coaching her. The England women's that did. She was brilliant. She's got something coming through as well. She's got something coming on as well.
She's got a great knowledge of it as well. You can sit and talk to her about.
That's the thing. That's the best thing. I love the knowledge. I mean, I love Richard. I think he's a cracking guy.
Yeah.
Really is. But Isabel coming through, she's just wants to learn.
Yeah.
Just wants to learn. And you can see that with her. You can purely see it. You can see and look and go, she's watching what's going on. She's not just sat back. She's watching what's going on. She's watching the line, how the opposition are attacking, how they're defending. Put her on, and she goes out and does the exact opposite to what they're doing because she's seen it.
Yeah.
Thinking, that's clever. That's clever.
Learning the sport.
Exactly.
Learning everything there in front of her.
And that's what's about. That's what I love about watching the future side of it, or the pathway side of anything you're watching, and you see how many players are interacting with others and how they're interacting with themselves. I think it's fantastic.
Would you fancy naming any future stars of the World Cup in the England squad, or do you think it's?
I don't know actually. I'd be tempted, personally. I'd be tempted to put in a couple, but again, the competitive side of me looks at it and goes, "No, I want my best squad out. I'm going to put the best out because I know that when we get to play France, because let's be honest, that's who's going to end up again. I can almost see that. For World Cup, you look and you go, no, we want the better results. Better results, top of table. You finish off, you get the better draws. You end up with better all the way through. You get to France and it's like, right, here's your best squad.
Yeah.
And the game ready, the game fit, the match fit.
Yeah. There's plenty of depth though. There.
Oh, without a doubt, in that 18, there's loads of depth. There's loads. You've got a cracking squad. It really is. I can't fault any of them in there, and they all deserve the place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely deserve that place in the England squad, England setup. So no, if I was a French, I'd be worried.
Take that as a warning. I know Seb listens, so he'll be getting in touch. Well, I know he gets in touch on social media. Whether he listens to the podcast or not, I don't.
I don't know.
We'll drop a soundbite.
We'll drop a soundbite.
We'll drop a soundbite.
Love it.
Sorry. So obviously England stuff's massive.
Yeah,
massive for you.
it's huge. It's mad. I love the opportunity. I think I don't think I've not dropped Tom or Dave a message, or even to the collective email group that we get saying thanks for your opportunity. I really appreciate it. I have big imposter syndrome.
Really?
Oh God, yeah. Oh hell yeah. I'm under no illusions that I look at it and I think, my God, I'm out my depth here.
But how long have you been in with them now?
Again, this is started off with the women's and juniors last season, and this is first into performance and development squad for men's.
Right, so you've done your time, so they must still want you there. That imposter syndrome maybe uncalled for.
I'd like to hope that is the case. I really would. But for me, it is definite. Like I'm just so grateful for where I am. As I said to start, 10-year-old me would have just turned around and gone, have a word.
Yeah, it sounded amazing.
Yeah.
Is there a lot? We'll lean on towards Warrington now. Then is there a lot you can take away from your England setup and bring to Warrington?
So I've brought in a few different things, different bits of how we start training, what we look at. A lot of what I kind of like is I like to have a voice on a pitch. So for me, I've handed over warm up to lads. Yeah, 20 minutes. You've got 20 minutes. It's yours. Off you pop. I don't want to know what it is. I'll figure it out on the day. I want to be blind. I want to go in and see it blind. I want to see how you're going to coach him, how you're going to get a voice on a pitch. Someone different instead of listening to me and Isaac. constantly like, right, you move. So it gives them a challenge, gives them something different, and it means they can grow as a player as well. They see it from our side, we see it from theirs. A lot of how they train, how they play. There's definitely been stuff I've taken from England and brought back to Warrington. I've always been one for standards as to how they deal with themselves before a game, after a game. And I've used what I've seen from England into there. And I think it's become not so much second nature yet, but it's definitely getting there. Definitely getting there. It's we turn on now. You've got your time. Let's go. Into your warm-up, bit of time out, rehydrate again, into pre-match stuff, and then ready for kick-off. So it's that mindset.
Yeah, it's a massive thing, it's mentality.
Of course it is.
We've started a little leadership group with a few players taking a bit of a role at Bulldogs.
Ah, that's a good idea.
It's a new concept. It's a concept I had in my mind for a while.
Take a note.
Take note. It's going around for a little bit now, but we've started to build it into everything that we're doing now with a leadership group. And it just gives a little bit of accountability between all players.
That's what it's about.
Accountable to each other.
That's what it's about. It is about accountability. You've got to look at it and go, okay, Ben, you've got to be big enough to hold your hands up at the end of a bad game and go, yeah, that was my fault. I did this. I didn't do this. I could have done this. And we do it. We look back on games. We have a look back on a Wednesday night fixture from Saturday. And it's a brutal, honest sit down. Some of the lads are like, I didn't see that at first. There you go. It's like, I think I can do this in training. I need to concentrate on this bit. I need to look at my kicks in plays. I need to look at where we're putting in things. So, I think review helps, definitely.
Yeah.
And again, that's something that I've not always been used to. But seeing it from the other side, it definitely looks and goes, actually, just a minute.
Yeah.
This is important. This is important for those who were playing at the time. I think the team, you need to look at it as a team. But for those who played, they've got to look, I think they need to look at that first and go, actually, just a minute. I can see at minute whatever, I wasn't in line. I wasn't on it. I didn't push forward. I moved. My players took me.
Yeah.
I went out. I came out the line too early. And it's being open and honest and, as you say, accountability for that. And saying, actually, that try was scored because I did this.
Yeah. It'll make the team stronger if each individual can put their hand up and be totally honest with each other.
Completely and utterly. And you've got to, I think some of it, you've got to be honest with yourself as well.
Yeah.
You've got to be completely honest with yourself. If you know you're having a bad day or you've had a bad week at work or there's something on your mind or there's something playing against it, if you turn around before a game and go, actually, I'm not up for this. Strength in depth of squad helps.
Yeah.
But also having accountability for yourself and saying, actually, it's been horrible in work.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got this going on at home, my head's not with it. Would you mind if I didn't start? Fine, I can deal with that.
Yeah.
And I think any coach is more grateful for that rather than them going on there making like a few errors which have been costly.
Yeah, yeah. This is just getting that mindset.
Costly.
I said earlier, you're a massive fan of Wheelchair Rugby League.
Yep.
And you do whatever you can to promote it.
Yep.
I liked your little incentive of taking your wheelchair guys out to a shopping centre over your neck of the woods earlier a few months ago. How did that go down? What kind of feedback did you get from that?
That was brilliant. We did 2 days initially in the centre of shopping precinct. That was, we kind of did it in a smallish circle, nothing major. You've got people coming past it, but you got people stopping, going, "Oh, what's this? Oh, didn't know we had a team. Yeah, we have.
Right.
Here we go. Here's our fixtures."
Yeah.
And they interacted. They loved it. We then went outdoors, did a bit outside as well. You got people coming in, going in chairs, giving it a go. It's like, Adam, what do you think? No, you've got to get moving first. Oh, okay. They get pushing. It's like, how to catch a ball? Oh, oh, what do I do? And it was complete. Like, it blew some people's minds as you got to push and hold, try and hold the ball on a chair as you're pushing the chair, as you're trying to get rid of it again. And it's like, I've never played rugby before, but I love this. It's like, perfect. And that's what it's about. It was about promoting it and making people within Warrington, and not just Warrington, take it wider field, know about wheelchair rugby.
Yeah. I think, I know Widnes have. I've seen that Warrington are taking some games on the road as well. Have I made that up, or is it just Widnes that's doing that?
I think it might be Widnes. Widnes are going out of John Moore's.
I know I know they have recently on it in Liverpool, but I thought I'd seen that one of your games were on the road. I might be making that up.
That could be the Widnes away fixture.
Or maybe is your away fixture with them on the road as well then?
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. Do you think it'll pay off?
It can't hurt. It can't hurt. You're taking it into university. I know. Wife's a teacher, so I understand that schools are closing down around about this time. Colleges and universities will be doing the same. But you're still going to have the odd few stragglers knocking about. So to get a bit of interest through that would be fantastic. I mean, we've got an opportunity coming up in October, going into Chester Uni.
All right.
So taking chairs into Chester Uni is part of the sports fresher type thing.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
So it's promoting the sport through there. So we're going in for doing a full day. It's an afternoon. So a full afternoon we're going in for. Luckily for me, I'm going in and taking that. So thankfully no one who I work with watches this. So we don't know if I've taken the day off yet.
I have to be careful how we promote this episode.
It's fine. It's fine.
So, from your little shopping centre day, did you get any? Has anybody been training with you? Came and seen you, or they've been in to have a watch of a training session or watching?
We've been down. We've had a couple down watch games.
Yeah.
Had a couple down to watch games, which was good. Hopefully, we've gained more supporters more than anything.
Yeah.
Players. We've not really had a big recruitment on players.
Right.
We've not had much from that, but a lot of it was trying to get us out there.
Yeah.
We raised a bit of cash. Never going to turn that down.
No.
Not at all. We just got us out there. Got us out there. The shopping centre, Golden Square, were superb with us. They were fantastically accommodating. We had guys who work there coming down and going, "This is nuts."
Yeah.
Get in. Yeah. No, God, no, I'm not doing that. Come on, get in. So we had a couple get in, they had a go and whatever, and it's like, God, that's rough. Yeah.
It's rugby.
It's rugby. So I didn't realise it'd be that rough. Yeah. We're not going full tilt at you either.
No.
So, oh my word. I need to come and watch this. And yeah, some have come down.
That's the thing. It just needs to be in front of people. We play our home games at Batley Sports and Tennis Centre.
Yeah.
And it's a decent sized sports hall, but there's a balcony on one side.
Okay.
And it's it's the balcony that everybody walks past to go to the gyms at the top level.
Right.
So they walk through doors and they're like, "What's this?"
What's that?
So plenty of times I try to catch people as they stood there hanging over the side, and it only takes that one quick second for people to take notice and be up, doesn't it?
Completely and utterly. That's all it is. And that exposure is superb, and that's what we looked for going into Golden Square. That's what we looked for, is getting that bit of exposure about the game. And I think it worked. It doesn't, I mean, don't get me wrong, the British weather never helps matters.
No, you
No, you could do it out in 30 degrees and still get the same as what you get going out in +1 or 2 or rain. But no, we did all right. I think we did all right. We did good promoting it. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. Any promotion, really. Any kind of promotion.
And if it's free and it costs nothing, it's even better.
Even better. Absolutely.
That's a bit of Yorksman over here.
This is the Yorksman talk. When you're not playing purse strings, anything that's free goes down.
Oh, aye.
Absolutely.
Oh, too right.
Obviously, big news last year with Super League taking on a couple of new clubs last year in Edinburgh and Sheffield.
Yep.
And Warrington were given a spot on the proviso of certain criteria being met.
Yep.
How's things going? Looking towards Super League for 2026.
Yeah. I think we just need to look at recruitment. We need to look at the recruitment side of it. Some changes have to be made. within how we go about things. We are. I wouldn't say we're thereabouts. I'd say we're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're not fantastic. A couple of results this year aren't going our way. And with recruitment side of it, we need to look for. I think we need to look further afield. Foundation are doing some fantastic work going into schools. That's all for future. I'm looking at next season. I think realistically I've got to look at next season, turn around and go, right, we need an influx of players. I don't need brand new ones. I need ones who are used to being in the chair.
Right, yeah.
That chair skill is important. You're coming up with we played in the fours in Manchester. We got a Halifax side who, when I spoke with Wayne afterwards, this was way after the tournament, he said, didn't even put out proper team. I put out my development ones. And they absolutely battered us.
Really?
Yeah. They were pretty much scoring a try every set. Every time they had the ball, they scored.
Were this year's...
this was this year's fours, yeah. Every time they had the ball, they scored. They're phenomenal. They are phenomenal, and that's we've got to hit a level. We're not at that level now, but that doesn't mean that by the start of next season we may not be there. We may be there, sorry, we may not be. We don't know yet. We just got to stay. I suppose in some ways, got to stay positive about it. Look at it and go, okay, let's reassess. Let's reassess where we are as a club, where we are as a squad. If we need an influx of players, we've got to find them from somewhere. So which means we've got to make ourselves attractive. How do you make yourselves attractive when on an M62 corridor?
Yeah, where everybody is.
Yeah. You've got to stand out. And to stand out, you've got to be that exceptional team. Don't get me wrong, coaching, you can have the best coaches in the world. And you could have the best coaches in the world at any squad. If you haven't got the pull or the draw to come into that team, you ain't going to get the players. So you've got to make the club look more attractive. And I think that's something which we're definitely looking at.
Do you think then, obviously, you just said it, along the M62, massive rugby league area all the way on from one side to the other? Literally all the way on to one side to the other. What do we do to bring more players in? What do we do as a sport to bring more players? On your doorstep, half an hour away from you, Lee, they've just started.
So you've got Lee, you've got Widnes, you've got Rochdale, you've got Salford. Push it slightly further. Widnes, obviously. Hereford, which is good 2 hours. North Wales. So you've got best part of 8 teams. And us, so 9. 9 teams, all within an hour max. How do you attract players? You've got to look further afield. And I love the idea of expansion. I think London and Edinburgh are superb.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, I agree.
100% love that. Fact you've now got a Scottish team, the first Scottish team into Super League is brilliant. They've got some development to do, but again, which team hasn't? Show me a team that's any form of rugby who haven't got development to do, and I'll show you. You'll find a rugby league team. So London again, fantastic players, absolute belting coach, fantastic setup. Is there room for a team over towards Newcastle, over that way? Is there one for Midlands? So you've got Coventry, you've got Birmingham, Stoke, Stafford. Anything around there that takes you just slightly off that big gap of the M62. You find more. I reckon you'll find more players from out there, but you've got to make it attractive. You've got to make your club more attractive than the other.
Obviously, if you do go into Super League, and smaller clubs do appear in these areas, you would have hoped that you are offering a very attractive package for them to come. Even all I'm thinking is, like for example, there's a player at York, Tom Blenkinsop.
Yep,
he plays at York. He's from Middlesbrough. There's nothing around his neck. It's different. It's that neck of woods.
I was going to say it's that neck of woods, isn't it?
Yeah. And there's nothing around him, and it's travelling down to York. Bless him.
Fair play to the guy.
Yeah.
So, if he's coming from up there. He's coming from North East. There's got to be a call for a North East team, surely.
Yeah, he's not the only one person up there.
You're not telling me he's the only one rugby or even basketball or murder ball player up there. No way, I'm not having that one.
And I was having a chat. We were hosting Team Colostomy this weekend. And we're having a chat. One of the Team Colostomy players come from all over the world.
We do, yeah.
Well, all over the UK, maybe not the world. But they don't train together. They just come together to play, and they have a really good weekend of it normally. There's a chap who comes down from the... did he say we're in the Midlands area anyway?
Okay.
Midlands Hurricanes.
Yeah.
In the running game, making some real progress. Earl Crabtree's gone down as MD down there, and
fantastic call. What a call that is.
Already, the difference is made.
Exactly. What a call that is getting Earl on. Getting big Earl on there, flipping heck.
With the progress they're making, you'd hope that some in their foundation had kind of clicked together and look at building maybe the wheelchair. That's got to be the next side of any foundation, aren't they, after running game, wheelchair?
100%. 100%. 100% with that. I mean, again, you go back and just look at stats. Fastest growing. The only fully inclusive. So, I think any foundation or any club that has a running game set up, you've got to look at a wheelchair setup to grow yourself. You've got to look at it. Granted, don't get me wrong, it is not the cheapest sport. It really is not.
I can confirm.
I was chatting with Martin from Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And he was saying like he's put one side 37 grand. He's got a budget 37 grand for one season.
For one season, Super League. Yeah.
In Super League. So that's a phenomenal amount of money.
They've got a lot of travelling to do as well.
They've got a lot of that's including a little bit of travelling. But that's a lot of money. That is a flipping heck load of money. And it's where you get that from. It's where you can how do you bring in that money? How do you sell it? What's your unique selling point? For Edinburgh, I think it's fairly simple. We're the first and original Super League, wheelchair Super League rugby league team. So that is a draw in itself. 100%. If you want to get behind something and you're a business and you're in Scotland, there you go.
Yeah, they have got the formula up there and brilliant management behind everything there.
Completely.
They've only been around 2 years and the Super League side now. They're not getting... Well, they didn't get a result.
No.
But, again...
Again, I think a lot of it is... I think the the 2 teams we're going to get some sort of pretty decent game out of is going to be Sheffield and Hull.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be your games in which they could probably nick 2 points off it.
Yeah.
I think they could probably nick 2 points off one, if not 2 of those. But again, it depends on what team turns up, how the travel's been. Has it been chaotic? Have you come down on train, which we all know British trains are fantastic. If you're going to get delay, it's going to be on them. So with that, it's how you travelled down, what your prep's been like, everything else that goes with it. So fair play to them.
Yeah.
I'm loving following their journey. Really am.
I've been hooked on it since it all came out.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. They are doing it the hard way. They were Bulldogs were playing Sheffield in a friendly, Sheffield A team in a friendly a while ago, and it's when Eddie moved down for Challenge Cup at Sheffield.
And
I spoke to Gilly really quickly because it was a matter of a 3-hour journey, 2-hour game, straight back out, 3-hour back. So they're definitely doing it the hard way.
That's a slog and a half.
Absolutely, nobody's doing that at any kind of elite sport level.
No.
Anywhere else.
Nowhere. No. You don't see Premier League football teams doing that.
No.
Don't even get a bus anymore. I think they fly still.
Yeah, I think you're right. They will do it that one. But there's not a lot of flights with 37 grand for a year.
There's not, no.
So what they're having to do there is... You've got the work cut out for them, but they're doing really well.
I love it. I can't fault them. I think it's absolutely superb. The setup, the way they're going about things, everything in what they're doing just looks absolutely crisp. Looks really good.
Yeah, definitely an exciting prospect.
Yep.
Something to look forward to.
Definitely.
Leeds didn't have it all their own way when they first started out, did they?
God, no.
Never win a game in first... It definitely wasn't first season or first 18 months. They didn't win a game or something.
Was it first season?
First full season.
First full season.
Never won a game.
But they've had a plan.
Yeah.
We've all seen the documentary they've done.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. To have that plan in place, to go from here, from starting out to where they are now. I love it. what a way! And that they've done it properly.
The proper management behind it.
Proper management behind it. They've got the recruitment's been spot on. They've got a cracking coach behind them in Simo.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. And the way they interact and act themselves, straight away, bang, in we go. We're now playing. It's brilliant. And that's all you can ever ask from any team, is that you turn up, you do your biz, and you finish on a high. And that's exactly what they do. And it's brilliant seeing the progress they've made as well. But again, you could say that with any team. Look at London.
Yeah.
Take London. The way they progressed. To go into a Challenge Cup, what a game that was. What an absolute game that was. And to take the loss and then to turn it round and play Halifax and draw 40 all.
Square, yeah.
Whew. That just shows strength of character. That shows strength of character to me.
They came back with a game plan and executed.
Oh yeah, completely and utterly. Completely and utterly. It was brilliant to watch. Absolutely fantastic.
Richard Wright was saying they were probably the top 2 teams in Super League this year. Do you think you'd agree, or would you throw somebody else in there?
Oh, how can you disagree, Richard? No, I think he's not far off. I think he's not far off. I definitely think you've got your top 2 is definitely there.
Yeah.
You could throw Leeds in.
Yeah.
You could throw Leeds into mix, and I think if you didn't throw Leeds into mix, I think you'd be daft.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You think you'd be daft not to throw them in there. So definitely pull Halifax, London, Leeds. There's your top 3.
I think I'd be confident with that.
Yeah. I wouldn't bet my mortgage on it. I'm not that much of a betting man, but I'd say there's your top 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't put too much money on it. I think it's not a bad call. It's not a bad call,
No.
definitely. Right, we'll have a look at some fixtures coming up.
Yeah, go for it.
On that one.
Go for it.
If I can open my binder without throwing it back on the floor. So this Saturday, Super League's back on.
Yes.
At Sheffield, we have Sheffield Eagle versus London Roosters. They're playing at the English Institute of Sport. Sorry, we'll do it the way that I've been doing it for the last
That's fine. Yeah.
So what I've done, I've called the fixture out.
Yep.
First response.
Winner. Sound.
I've already said it. Sheffield Eagles versus London Roosters.
London.
Just too strong.
Yeah.
Sheffield too new.
Yeah. It's a cracking venue. EIS is an absolute superb venue. Don't get me wrong. I was awestruck when I've been there.
Yeah.
But no, I think London are too strong.
Yeah. I'm going to go with that one. Edinburgh versus Wigan.
Ooh, Wigan.
This one's played at...
Even as a Warrington fan, I've got to say, I can't not say Wigan.
They were hurting people coming out.
Tell you, it's killing me. Killing me. But no, Wigan. I'd like to see Edinburgh do a job, and I think they will do a really good job. I think it won't be the same Edinburgh side that went up against Leeds. I think they've had that first game now. They've got it out of the way. I think it's going to be a different set.
I think that's what they just had to get out there, didn't they?
Yeah.
And launch themselves out a little bit.
Pre-game excitement, pre-game nerves. It's your very first game. I love the fact that you got a bagpiper out there.
They did as well, didn't they? They went for it, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Well
and
done.
that's what a way to make an entrance into Super League.
Did they actually come out to the bagpipe playing?
Can't remember.
They should do. They should have done, shouldn't they?
I
If they aren't, Gilly made a mistake there.
He's missed a trick on that.
Still with the Super League. Halifax versus Hull.
Halifax.
Halifax.
I can't see anybody else. Can't see any other result apart from Halifax win. Too strong.
Too strong. You
strong.
already said, hadn't you, a couple of minutes ago, Halifax and London probably the strongest two this season.
Yep.
On to the Championship West. Warrington versus North Wales Crusaders.
I knew you'd pick that game first. Oh, God. Head and heart. Technically, I should say Warrington. But I think we've got to turn up. If we can pull the way we played against Hereford, there's a chance we'll take a result. So, instinct says North Wales.
Remaining honest, that's what I like.
Instinct says North Wales. I'd like to hope we're going to get some result. But instinct said North Wales.
It's a strong Welsh team.
It's a Welsh team.
It's a Welsh team, yeah. It's the Welsh team.
It's the Welsh team,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So, no. As much as I'd like to say Warrington, I think I've got to be realistic about it and say North Wales.
Okay.
It hurts me. It does hurt.
I can feel the pain. I can hear the pain. On to Sunday. There's some friendly action on Sunday at Lee Leopards, and they're hosting Rochdale.
That's going to be a big game. That's going to be a big game.
I wonder if
I went down to watch the Lee and Salford game. If Rochdale put the first team out, Rochdale 100%. If they get the development side on there, or mix it up a little bit, I think Lee have got a chance. I think Lee have got a chance. They did some really good stuff against Salford. They came out for a win, I think it was 24-22, that. Or 24-20, somewhere around there.
I will definitely add it down because we'll have done it on social somewhere.
Yeah.
But off the top of my head, I can't think.
It was somewhere around that. And they played a really good game. They've got some interesting players over at Lee. Some interesting players. Somewhere you look and you go, oh, hello. Radio.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. I'd say Rochdale. With that.
Just because of the experience.
Just because of experience.
I'm going to have to go over and visit Lee at some point just to see how they're going.
It's worth
over
it.
there.
It's worth it. It's a lovely floor. Lovely surface.
Yeah, because they're playing at the LSV, aren't they?
Yes. It's a lovely surface for playing on.
I've got a feeling something big might be brewing there at Lee because their new wheelchair side and the way Derek Beaumont is with Lee and getting behind everything.
He's behind it. He's behind it 100%.
Yeah.
The guy, I've been really fortunate enough to meet Derek quite a few times, and he's such a character.
Yeah.
What an absolute character that guy is. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. And he's passionate for rugby. He's passionate for rugby. He's passionate for developing everything about Lee.
Yeah.
I actually think if you said to him, look, there's a new sport called out, it's called Clown Rugby League, where you've all got to dress up as a clown and big shoes on, he'd be behind it 100%.
Oh, as long as they had leopard print clown.
Exactly.
Or something like that.
Completely and utterly.
All over it, wouldn't they? Yeah.
Completely and utterly.
Yeah. It's great to see these kind of characters in the game.
It
and
is.
the people who really do back the club.
Yeah.
Saying that, there's a Championship East match on as well, and it's the first time we're going to see Wakefield Trinity, and they're going away to OKR. Just a bit.
I'm going to say KR on that.
Again, for experience.
Purely
I think
experience.
Wakefield have just announced their team, or their players, their squad that they've got today, and it looks like quite a young squad.
Must have not seen that yet.
It only came out this afternoon, I think.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So we're recording this on the Monday. It only came out
Yeah.
earlier this afternoon. But it looks like a young squad.
Okay.
We'll see them in a couple of weeks' time. We go over to Wakefield for for our league match there. But it's exciting to see them back up and running.
It is. It's really good.
Obviously, we never want any teams to disappear like it looked like they almost did at one point.
Weren't far off.
Weren't far off doing that. But they're back. And again, I think they could have some potential with the new chairman at Wakefield. He's a massive rugby league fan as well.
Yep.
His name is just escaping me right now. I can't think of his name right now. But he's got behind through the foundation as well with the PDRL, the Learning Disability Rugby League. He's got behind all that. So I've got a feeling it's going to be an exciting time at Wakefield.
Completely and utterly. And it's, as you say, it's good to see an existing team coming back. They were close to going, which would have been a real shame.
Absolutely.
And for them to come back in and just get that game time. Get that game time. If you've got a young squad, brilliant. Love that.
There's something to grow.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about.
Indeed. Right, Ian, thanks a lot for joining us today.
No, Andy, loved it, mate.
I'm glad you've enjoyed yourself. Come back and join us in a couple of weeks' time for it'll be episode 4 then. We'll have 2 guests in the studio. I'm not sure we've got enough room for everybody. So keep an eye out on social media and we'll announce who they are very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.